It worked.
Hmm.
Soluble fear toxin caused hyper-aggression.
Oh, this is the
in
new
subjects.
operator.
Too potent. Adjustments needed.
No fair.
Oh, they're way smaller than I thought.
This is perfect.
I thought they would be like,
Exactly what I wanted.
well,
What?
like bigger, way bigger than my.
What are you
I thought
doing?
they were like Malusi
Human
size.
subjects. The next frontier.
It's too early for human trials. They'll kill each other!
Oh, fuck. This man just murdered his whole ass team. I don't know if he's Spec Ops. Oh.
It's a shame he has your formula. He doesn't. I made sure of that. But I know Deimos. And he's coming for Rainbow.
Oh. No, okay. Well, we'll see how this goes, I guess. Crazy that they did like a whole separate thing for this.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Operation Dread Factor. I'm Camille Salazar-Hadaway, here to unveil everything that's coming in Year 8, Season 2 of Rainbow Six Siege. We've got a new operator, new map rework, and a lot more to cover.
New shooting range line.
Here's creative director Alexander Karpazis with an overview of the season and some roadmap updates.
Okay. We're not worried about that.
Welcome to Operation Dread Factor. This is introducing a new operator, Fenrir, hailing from Sweden, who's joining the Red Hammer squad. He's bringing with him the idea of fear to the battlefield. This is a mechanic that we've been working on for a long time. And we finally made it work, and we're happy to introduce him to the rest of the operators. On top of this, we have a big, long overdue map rework for Consulate. We hope you enjoy it.
Consulate has a bunch of stuff different. Oh, grass looks way better. Thank God the windows are fucked.
Accessibility changes to make the game that much
oh man, that's gonna make Consulate so much worse and so much better.
Being released this season for everyone to enjoy. As with last year, we want to be fully transparent with what we do with the roadmap and any changes that we make. And these changes are actually informed by you, your voice, and your feedback. That means this season we're delaying the Frost rework to Season 3.
Let's
so that
go!
we can focus on the priorities that you mentioned to us when we announced this initial roadmap. That means Grim will be getting a buff this season, as well as the observation blocker being moved up to this season, Season 2.
What is Grim's buff?
For Frost, we want to make sure that you can play the Lab TS this season with those changes. There will be a dedicated spot on our 6 fix where you can give us feedback for Frost.
Just leave Frost the way she is. I don't see the problem.
Is coming to Rainbow Six Siege, and I'm not talking about 20 seconds left.
So
on
Defender,
the clock, diffuser in hand. What do you do? Fear. I'm talking about this. This is what it looks like when an attacker is caught in the radius of Fenrir's FNAT Dreadmine.
So they put Viper in Rainbow Six Siege?
You should be.
Does it last if you go further away? It kind of does.
Brings a whole new way to undermine the attacker's advances. One that's unlike anything we've seen yet in Siege. Next, you'll hear from concept artist Sunshine Kim about the design and creative vision of this unique operator. And then Director of Gameplay Design Jeremy
I wonder if
Carball
it's small
and
enough.
Game Designer Dominic Clement
Looks small
will
enough
elaborate
to
on the
fit.
features that make Fenrir someone to be
Interesting.
feared.
You could fit like under a window.
Fenrir is designed by, once again, our character concept artist NJ Chutai, who previously worked on Green. Fenrir looks dangerous, somewhat frightening, but it's not reckless or evil. Since he's a scientist and a trained soldier at the same time, we really wanted to capture those two elements in the visual design. We explored light urban combat outfits for the general aesthetics.
I wonder if it takes that long to go back.
Advanced high-tech equipment that could be a
Because it looks like it's supposed to be safe from being shot.
Case, his neck collar slash mask that gives him immunity to his own gadget. Keeping rest of the design more grounded, we allowed certain room for fantasy on his gadget that can really show the character he can belong both combat and lab environment at the same time.
So when our team started to work on Fenrir, we found interesting information about military scientists conducting researches around psychochemicals. They were looking for ways to fight enemies with cloud of gas that can impair the brain and send a subject into a state of delirium. So Fenrir's device
Isn't that against the Geneva Convention?
Diffuser of psychochemicals. When it's activated, the metallic casing opens. When it detects the presence of hostile, a gas is sprayed. When opponents are under the influence of this chemical, their brain are affected, their perceptions are clouded, and their field of view are obstructed with hallucinations. Because of the nature of this character, we built this scary-looking device. Fenrir works with chemicals, so the casing is corroded, creating this skull that became part of his identity. When it triggers, two glowing eyes are watching you while you are slowly sinking into the obscure universe of Fenrir.
So Fenrir joins Rainbow as the mastermind of the defense. He's a unique trap operator that can truly adapt and redirect his own utility to the ever-changing flow of around. So Fenrir
it looks pretty small.
It's a throwable, sticky gadget that can be deployed pretty much everywhere. Once it's deployed and it's activated, it can be triggered by an attacker that
you have
walks
to
in its line
activate
of sight. Once it's triggered, the mine will release a toxin cloud. Everyone standing in it will be affected by the effect, which we call the fear effect. In short, the fear effect
so it does go away if you walk far enough away.
An opaque bubble around you that limits your visibility range to a few meters. Past that, it's complete darkness.
Wow.
So when the round starts, Fenrir has all of his gadgets in his pocket. And when they're deployed, they're basically inert. They don't do anything, and they're armored. So they can't be destroyed by bullets. They can only be destroyed by explosives.
Okay.
Aside from being there and looking mean, they really don't do anything. That is until Fenrir activates them with one of his 3 codes. He has 3 codes and 5 gadgets. So he has less codes than actual gadgets, so he needs to be mindful of which one he's going to activate and which one he will remain armored. Because once they're activated, they open up and they're no longer bulletproof. So they're very vulnerable to bullets, lasers, and obviously explosives. Once they're open up, they mean business, and it means that it can be triggered by attackers and affect them.
You don't want to like activate them off rip, right?
The goal is to survive as long as possible. So we made sure to give him a kit that will hopefully allow you to do so. If we look at the primary weapons, you have 2 options. The first one is the MP7, a classic, really powerful SMG, great for close, mid, and even long-range encounters. So the second option is the SAS G12.
Sausage.
Very strong, powerful shotgun.
Jeez.
That can deal a lot of damage in close range.
Wow, look at the
Perfect
spiral
to
stairs.
pair with the gadget, which essentially
That looks
limits
great.
the visibility of the attackers, so you can really get close and personal with this weapon and deal a lot of damage.
Wow, Yellow Stairs has a
Secondary
soft
weapon, we
wall
have the
now
bailiff.
too, at least outside.
Great secondary weapon that creates a lot of destruction.
And gets
for
a
pistol.
bailiff.
Whether you pick the SMG or the shotgun, you be sure to have a tool in your arsenal to reshape the map during the preparation.
Oh, it also tells you where they are.
For secondary gadgets, we went for gadgets that will really synergize well with the operator's main ability. The first one is barbed wires. The FNAT will reduce the visibility.
Well, so
and
at least
the barbed wire
bailiff,
will
that's
slow you
good.
down. His other option in terms of secondary gadget is the bulletproof cam. Again, a great synergy with the gadgets because you can use the bulletproof cam to keep watchful eye on your FNAT, and you can also use the bulletproof EMPs to disable any pesky attacker drone that might be coming in to destroy your gadgets.
So Fenrir is a very flexible operator.
Interesting.
It can be very useful for new players as much as for very experienced players. For new players, if you don't want to
looks crazy.
to manage and jungle with all the codes, you can just deploy your gadgets, activate them, and
Super
play them
complex.
like a regular trap operator. If you want to be a bit more advanced and kind of trick the attack, you can really juggle with the codes, activate your gadgets when they need to be activated, deactivate them to protect them, do this dance of the mastermind kind of controlling where the gadgets are most effective and affect as many attackers as you can. Keeping up with the synergy between the operators and the gadgets, you have a lot of synergies with other operators. So like,
is there like a certain radius of it?
Can combine their slowdown effect.
I mean, there has to be, right?
With the FNAT, they'll have their visibility reduced, and also they'll be slowed down, so they might be stuck in this effect a bit longer, thanks to that. Combining it with other operators like Thorn means that you can kind of catch these attackers in their moment of panic and hopefully deal them a lot of damage with these gadgets.
I feel like people aren't going to panic. They're just going to keep walking forward, right?
Operators that are very useful with Fenrir is the intel gathering operators like Valkyrie, like Pulse, like Solis.
Wow.
They're all
Look at
very
that.
useful
Locker's Hall
operators
now.
that can really collect as much intel as they can and share this intel with Fenrir, so Fenrir can be more aware of which one of his gadget needs to be activated in order to be the most effective. Operators that can be a bit more sneaky could potentially get a bit closer to the victims and give them a good scare, like, well, Kavera. So if you have a Fenrir on the other team, you have a couple options in terms of counter. The first one is the classic combo of IQ and Thatcher that can be brought to deal with these FNAT. So Finka is another very interesting counter. She won't completely remove the effect, but with her nano boost, she'll be able to kind of reduce the effectiveness of the fear effect, giving you more breathing room and more room to see around you and find hopefully cover to be safe.
That's kind of weird.
An interesting counter that you can bring is Mountain. Mountain can trigger them and provide cover for the rest of the team to come in and destroy the FNAT that have been triggered. Since he has the shield, the visibility reduction is not the end of the world. He's still protected. And finally, you have Twitch and Zero that can be brought to hunt down all the activated FNAT and zap them with their lasers. We can't wait to see the strategies and...
Does that mean that Zero Kims can do it without them being activated?
Come up with Fenrir. He's really an operator that can play with collecting information and removing information from the attackers. So we can't wait to see players run around activating, deactivating their FNAT and scaring attackers throughout the next season.
We've seen your excitement about the upcoming map rework
Does it work
Consulate, and
if
now
they're on the other side of the door?
We want to give you more details on the renovations and updated bomb sites. And by we, I mean
I guess we'll have to
lead
see.
World Jeremy Dowsett.
Guess we'll have to see.
The Consulate is one of our original maps. It's 8 years old. It was old technology. It needed to be brought up to a level that we expect from our maps. New destruction, new walls, everything's up to the new 2.0 standard. So we can actually iterate upon it and we can actually fix bugs and issues much, much easier. We've gone top floor all the way down and even out to the spawn points. This map is a very, what we'd call a heavy rework. It's a massive overhaul of everything from the ground up, exterior, in, everything's been touched. It's gonna feel the same, but there are a few surprises and a few tweaks.
Doesn't exactly feel the same. I mean, holy fuck.
Spawn peaked or run out on quite a lot. So we've gone through and we've looked at all of the lines of sights from the building to the spawns, and we've made it more comfortable for the attackers to actually approach and actually get into the building. So what we've done is we've looked at all of the lines of sights, i.e. all of the windows, all of the doors, anything that looks towards the spawn. And in certain cases, we've actually either put a blocker on the window, say some scaffolding, or we've actually removed the window or blocked it permanently. So anyone that was used to looking out towards garage and getting a cheeky angle, that angle's not there anymore. If you want to spawn peek, you're gonna have to work an awful lot.
Wow, no garage site.
There's a new set of stairs, yellow stairs, that go all the way up, which aids the navigation, and especially if you need to switch between floors.
Is that new?
The players will notice
those are just Vista stairs.
On the balcony, so you can actually hold the balcony and actually
play, that's a
play with the ebb and flow
wall now.
Defense. You've got a chance to get in on the balcony now. A lot of things have changed on the first floor. A lot of walls have moved. Some new thematics. There's a new thing called Exposition, which is actually a bomb site. So you have Exposition Piano as the bomb site on the first floor. Entrance lobbies change.
Why is there an exhibition hall in a console?
You're still going to recognize it. It's the same, but refreshed. A lot more cover and a lot more ways to actually approach the bomb site. It's less open. It plays much nicer than it did before.
I wonder if it's still soft.
Everyone loves to hate Garage. The smoke plant was everything. Every time you watch this map get played in Pro League, when it was in Pro League or in Ranked, you know what's going to go down. They're going to plant behind the truck, they're going to smoke, and then they're just going to hold it all the way out on the exterior, and you're not going to be able to counter them. Now you actually have to enter through a new room to get into Garage to the bomb site to actually be able to plant.
Wow, it's only a 2-panel wall.
You can't hold it from the outside, so you have
like
to enter the building.
Chalet, but different.
If you're attacking from server side, there were lots of lines of sight, and they would hold on a really long angle. We've looked at the.
Oh wow! And then there's that really fucked angle on Red Car.
Different. The bombs are in different places. Not only is the Garage changed with the big new entrance and the doorway through, there's a doorway to the side of it now that goes to yellow stairs. It's always nerve-wracking for the team, who did an exceptional job. It looks amazing. The artists were great. The lighting looks great. I think the players are going to love it. So like Nighthaven, you can't ban Consulate. We want the players to be able to experience the new map, the new navigation, and the hard work of the team.
In Siege, all it takes is one bullet. And to help you make each bullet count, the shooting range is continuing to evolve. Associate Game Director Christopher Budgeon is here to tell you more about the new features, including a destructible surprise.
We've been very happy and pleased with the reception of the shooting range and our constant quality of life updates. Now, in Operation Dread Factor, our Shanghai team is bringing our largest update yet. The aiming lane allows players to practice through play. Whether they want to customize the movement and speed of different targets from the shooting range, so you can test recoil and damage directly in an in-game situation. You can create customized setups
Valo,
to test the speed, movement, or the distance options of different sets of targets. Now you can master
no need for T-Hunt. Holy crap.
In a real life situation, but without having to leave the shooting range. What we really want to do is allow players to get their hands on their favorite weapons and their customized loadout and put that directly to use so they can train and improve their skills in the shooting range. While we were really happy to bring the aiming lane for Season 2, we're actually bringing one extra thing as well. We're bringing a destructible wall into the damage lane. Destruction is really important in Siege, and so allowing players to test how much destruction a weapon will do versus the damage that it creates is a new variable that players can choose to determine their ultimate loadout. Practice creating rotations or making lines of sight, or even check what the damage fall off is when you're using your weapons through a soft wall. We're really happy to have destruction right there in the shooting range.
That's an interesting way.
From golden guns to headshots only, arcade game modes are a fun
interesting way to introduce that.
Skills. And in Operation Dread Factor, we're introducing the permanent arcade playlist. For the full breakdown, let's go to game designer
I don't know how I feel about it yet. I don't know. The shooting range, the new stuff is good.
We're super excited to finally bring you the new permanent arcade playlist, and you can get your hands on it coming in Season 2. We wanted to give a place for players to actually play and enjoy all these arcade game modes that we've released throughout the years. But we also felt like all these game modes deserve a place to be permanent inside the game.
Headshots only is nice.
Of 5 arcades. So now you will be able to, from the menu, jump directly into a queue for all these crazy and fun arcade game modes. Or you can even go to customize.
Snipers only?
With your own friends. We are releasing with arcades like Golden Gun, in which your only weapon is the Golden Desert Eagle. Or even Headshot Only, a game mode in which the only way to kill your opponent is actually with a headshot. Or even Snipers Only, a game mode in which everyone is using Kali's sniper rifle.
Game mode where everyone has Kali's sniper. That's crazy.
Playlist, because we feel like it fits better in here. And if you were paying attention, I mentioned 5 arcade game modes. And that's because we're taking the chance to release a brand new arcade called Free For All, in which, you probably guessed it, it's you versus everybody else. No teams.
They're playing Call of Duty now.
Versus 9 other people, and you will have to fight your way to victory.
Siege is trying to become the FPS game.
Without restrictions in this alternative ways of playing Rainbow Six without actually worrying whether or not they will be removed from the game. So yeah, have fun with your friends in this new arcade playlist.
Are they just kicking on the nostalgia factor? It's probably that, right?
We got a glimpse of it during the Six Invitational, and now it's time to see, or not see, what's up with the observation blocker. Technical designer Sergi Ledesma from our Barcelona studio is here to teach you all about it and share a balancing update for Grim.
Observation blocker.
Intel gathering is one of the core pillars of the Siege experience. We want to reinforce this game
not anymore.
by giving defenders more tools to deny information to the attacking team. That's why this season we're releasing this new secondary gadget, the observation blocker. This gadget, once deployed on the ground, creates a digital barrier that blocks vision through attackers' observation tools, forcing them to drone more aggressively and giving more opportunities to defenders to destroy those drones. Defenders choosing this secondary gadget will start with 3 under pockets, so they will be able to cover large portions of the map. When it comes to synergies, the gadget can be used in combination with operators such as Kaid, Maestro, or Melusi to hide valuable pieces of utility. For example, with Maestro, you're going to be able to hide your evil eyes behind an observation blocker and gather information and shoot with a camera without getting your gadget exposed to drones. It can also be used to defend strong positions. You could, for instance, place a deployable shield, a couple of ADSs on the wall, lay some traps, and hide the entire setup behind an observation blocker. Attackers won't know what
that has a huge range,
so they will have to either reach their drones, find a way to destroy the gadget, or pick themselves without enough information to win the gunfight. The gadget can be destroyed by bullets, explosions, or even be hacked by Brava, so defenders will have to find safe positions for it to be useful during the round. With the gadget in play, attackers will have to drone smarter and with more precision to gather the information they need to win the round. The addition of this new secondary gadget will create new gameplay interactions in the Intel gathering experience, and will also give the defenders more flexibility when it comes to assembling their team compositions.
They should give Bravo more stuff.
Playtime as we would like. We think the main reason is how hard it is to apply the effect onto the defenders. We want to buff him, to make his gadget more reliable and impactful. And to do so, we will release 2 updates. The first one coming this season, and the second one later during the year. From now on, the deployment sequence of his gadget will be much faster. So as soon as the projectile sticks to a surface, the beast will be released shortly after. We are also increasing his area of effect, so the beast will stick to more defenders. Additionally, we are doubling the
lot of bees,
so the area will be denied for much longer. We're also improving his loadout. He's going to be receiving the Bailiff as a secondary weapon and the Hard Breach Edge as a secondary gadget. These new tools of destruction will help him create new lines of sight.
But he still can only shoot one at a time.
This set of changes will make him more reliable, effective, and versatile. We have more changes under investigation for this operator, so you can expect more improvements during the year.
It's time for an accessibility update for console players. New controller layouts are coming. Associate producer Jane Gonchar from our new studio has more.
Not a console player. I wouldn't understand the need for console improvements.
As you may know, we want to level up playing field for PC and console players. And new additional controller layouts are important stepping stones on the way to full controller customization. We have already several of them in the game, but the new one we are introducing are a step above and beyond, centered around tackling some difficulties that might cause discomfort for players when using the controller. Players who
why not just give the ability to customize the whole layout?
All of their hands might find this feature is a way to increase comfort. Other players might find a way to play game differently.
Are they not able to like do that on controller?
Already helped us
Can you not just like
the final vision for full controller remapping.
I guess I don't understand. I guess
we will continue to iterate on the feedback we gather to ensure that final product will meet the highest industry standard and provide our console players the best experience possible.
That's crazy. You can't fully customize your thing.
We've got a new
your controller
coming to match replay. The free camera option will give you more flexibility over how
Let's go
and show off your replays.
Oh my god. Free camera. Ugh. We need that.
Free camera for match replay is coming to Siege, and this is a new perspective of spectating matches. This breaks from the top-down view or the first-person view of the game. Now you have complete freedom to move around the map as a camera, to inspect things that you never saw before, and to see strategies from a whole new light. The goal of FreeCam is to provide players with the tools necessary to review their match, to review the strategy. No matter where you are, you have the freedom to move around that map and inspect those details that you missed before. This means that the next level of FreeCam in a future update will be an update to the HUD, so you can also hide it as well. This would be a fantastic tool for creating content. This means that you can set up the camera that you want, the capture and performance that you want, so that you can create that amazing video that you've always dreamed about creating inside of Siege. In Season 2, we're bringing a quality of life update too, for everybody who enjoys playing squads. We're providing squads the opportunity to vote when the squad's ready to jump into the next fight, and the squad leader will instantly be able to move them into that next matchmaking phase straight from the after-action report. This isn't the only quality of life improvement we're doing in this season.
Didn't that used to exist?
We spoke at the SI about interactions with gadgets and improving that.
Why did that go away?
We're delivering with the first step, which is the diffuser pickup, making it more generous and more intuitive in order to pick up that gadget, and providing the option to players whether or not they want
automatic diffuser pickup
or a prompt to pick it up.
Let's go.
The future means that we'll be bringing these improvements to other gadgets.
There's no reason for them to turn that off.
At SI, the idea of putting down your gadget, picking it up, and even throwing it will be on the roadmap for future updates.
Operation Dread Factor is coming to the season test server next week. Get a first look at Fenrir, his fear-inspiring gadget, and the reworked consulate map. And remember, whether you're on the test server or in the live game, reporting issues you encounter to R6Fix
you can get some SynfulSynic.
Extra rewards.
Some
That's all for our show today. Thanks for watching.
SynfulSynic. Well, that was fun and informative, guys. Things that we want. Alright, let's talk about this for a second. The new shooting range. Beautiful. We like that. Grim buff, meh. Observation blocker, meh. Consulate rework, results pending. The freaking, why is that the picture for player comfort? It's just Tachanka laying on a couch. It's crazy. Free cam and match replay, we want. Free for all, meh. New operator pending results. We'll see how it goes. This test server starts tomorrow, but they just said last week. I don't know. Play it on the test server at some point, I guess. Whenever. Play the game. Thanks for... I don't know, man. Thanks for that, Doobie. And we'll see. We'll see.